I'm going to make this an episode just pretty much touching on food and dieting and staying on track sort of thing, because there's always going to be something that pops up in life that's going to throw you off track, and expecting to be 100% all of the time gives you a bigger chance for failure than it does for success. Because if you're not 100%, you're just going to feel down on yourself, or you'll be like, oh, I'm not 100%, why bother, sort of thing. And I definitely see it a lot of times with a lot of people. They do like one little thing off plan and decide to like throw in the towel, or they think that that one thing off plan means that all of their efforts are suddenly put to waste because they just screwed up one little thing. But the thing is, don't let, like, for example, you have an Oreo. I don't know why I thought of an Oreo, but let's just say you have an Oreo. That's fine, it's like one Oreo. You can easily make up for like one Oreo by getting back on track. But if that one Oreo turns into a fuck it, let's eat the whole packet, tell me what does the biggest damage there. And it's not just that, it's like people like vilify, whatever. People put like such a bad rap on things like carrots and fruit, to the point where they're scared of eating carrots because they say it's got a lot of sugar in it or something. Or they're afraid to eat grapes because, oh no, fructose, or oh no, sugar. But you tell me what's better, a handful of grapes or a Cadbury bar? Like, think about that. Because if you're someone who is actually so habitated towards snacking, towards grazing, towards like not sitting to set meals and your meal plan, then trying to go cold turkey and expect 100% sticking to your meals, eating every like 3 hours or whatever, like if you just expect to go straight to such a regimented style of eating after coming from like years and years of other habits, that isn't something that's a realistic goal unless you can actually turn into a robot. Like I know a few people actually that can just turn into a robot straight off the bat. Like you give them a plan and they'll stick to it, because they might have a busy lifestyle, they might only get set chances to eat. But then there are others who are like stay-at-home moms, or at home most of the time because their work doesn't involve running about, or like the hardest thing for some, like for guys especially, if they're like on the road all the time for their job, or it's something where they have easy access to food, or if you're even in an environment in a workplace that has snacks everywhere and you're so used to just eating the snacks. Like, there was one time one of my clients said to me, I realized today for the first time ever that I'm constantly dipping my hands in the snack bowl at work. Because she was saying to me not that long ago that she's confused why she's not losing any weight, but she's not even eating all the food on her meal plan. And it turns out that she's been eating handfuls of lollies and chocolates. So unless you actually like narrow down on your subconscious actions, like probably you might make food for your kids and shovel some freckles into your mouth, chocolate freckles. Or you might lick the spoon of a Nutella knife, the Nutella whatever sandwich, or peanut butter. Like, those things do add up because they're calorie dense foods. And if you do it regularly enough, like, do the sums. that's like one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is, if you're finding that your meals aren't filling enough, instead of feeling so hungry, you grab like popcorn or chips or a slice of bread or something. Why not just add some more greens to your plate, like spinach, lettuce, cucumber, green beans, broccoli? Like, just add a few extra grams, or ask for it to be added if your coach does your meal plan, because I'm pretty sure that your meals can be like made in a different way where they can be more voluminous. But you need to realize, like, I have this guy who loves drinking his mochas, like, you know, the small cups, like of the coffee that you get from a cafe. Mochas with like the milk, the sugar, the flavoring, that added stuff. Like, if you think about it, how satisfying would that be in the long run if you swap that cup of coffee with like a little bit of milk? If you swap that for like half a cup of rice, what's going to be more filling for you? And what's going to be more performance enhancing? Rice, or changing from a long black, or a long black with a dash of milk, to a mocha? Like, you can pretty much just have the coffee with minimal calories and fit in rice. What's going to be more satisfying? Like, you need to think the smart way around. Like, you're okay, every now and then it's okay to make those substitutions, but if you do it daily, you're cutting out a large portion of volume if you're already on a weight loss phase. So I guess it's really just balancing up what you can handle and what you're good at, like balancing. And another little trick that I absolutely love is getting xanthan gum, because xanthan gum, it's like pretty much all carbs, all fiber. It's just like this gunk, and it's something I would definitely cut out in the last week of comp prep because it just sits in your stomach. But leading up to comp prep, like with me, for my own comp preps, I used to fill up on all artificial crap. Fill up on like carbonated diet this, diet that. Used to drink shitloads just to stay full. Diet jelly, xanthan gum in everything. I used to add so much zucchini to like oats and cauliflower rice, to like anything to make it taste filling and satisfying, and zucchini noodles, like anything to really batch up the volume. And I lathered my plates with lettuce just to fill me up. But come comp prep week, like peak week, I'm like, okay, it's only 1 week. I can deal with hunger. I can deal with cutting things back. Like, even though I feel like hunger is going to happen when you're in comp prep. This is like, that's a totally different thing. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're in a dieting phase, even just a usual dieting phase, because you're cutting back your calories, you are going to feel hungry at some point. It's inevitable. It's learning to manage it, because you can do all you can to lessen the hunger, but it's going to be there because you're not eating as much as you're used to eating. And because when you're dieting, food is always going to be on your mind for the majority of people, because it like, we're just human and it just works that way. So regardless, you just need to find ways to make it work for you and know your goals. And that's why when I do my dieting phases, I only do this with consistent people, and based on feedback, which I already talked about when I talked about diet breaks. It depends on the individual. It depends on how they're progressing, how they're adhering. I would like to implement diet breaks because you mentally need them when you're dieting. Not just psychologically, but your body would need them too, to get readjusted so that you can start dieting again and have energy levels. Because you can't just like bump up your freaking metabolism by just feeding yourself. Like, people who say reverse dieting, build my metabolism up really high. No, it doesn't work that way. the only reason that you can lose weight by increasing your calories is because you just increased your fidgeting, your non-exercise energy expenditure. So, yeah. I guess if you have any questions on that, just ask me, because there was a lot of like confusing stuff I said. And that's my ramble for today. I probably won't do one until I think of something that can really bring value to you, because I did cover quite a lot in my podcast so far. So if you have any topics you want me to cover, let me know. I did a really good post on Instagram today, so give that a read. It's about anxiety and feeling overwhelmed, especially on Mondays, because of expectations and all of that stuff, and it ends up putting our health and fitness last. So if you want to read that, I think it's June 24th or 25th today. So look for my post on that date and you can give it a little read. Love you all.